Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. And on today's episode, I am going to be talking solely about the Los Angeles Lakers. I will be there's really not much of an update to give you guys with the Raiders, as we kind of know that there's just been some talks and maybe some traction going around. It seems like things have kind of gotten finalized for the Derek Carr trade over to the Saints. Sounds like there's just more traction going on with that. So maybe as the week goes on, we'll get more and more information on that. As we do know that a big day, I believe it's the 15th of February, a couple days after the Super Bowl, where that decision has to be made, whether if he's going to be traded, whether if he's going to be released. So then that way the Raiders can ensure that they're not going to be owing him, or at least to know that he's not going to be on the team moving forward after that point. Other than that, with the Dodgers, not much news. Just everybody again reporting to training camp and getting acclimated with each other, so on and so forth. Just kind of the same news as usual. I'll make sure to go in and get some more information, maybe some more news. Hopefully, some more stuff kind of breaks as that goes on. But as we all know, all kinds of news happen with the Lakers. All kinds of news happen in the NBA. It's been a couple of days since I actually spoken to you guys, and I purposely did not want to go in and record a podcast yesterday. I'll explain all that and let you guys know why that was and why I decided to go in and actually record one today. So with that being said, guys, it is Thursday, February 9th, 2023. It is just an early Thursday morning for me, just recording this after yesterday hearing the big news on the trade that ended up happening with between the Lakers, the Timberwolves, and the Jazz. We'll break down that whole trade, talk a little bit about how that trade is going to affect the Lakers moving forward, and also as well just kind of give a little bit of a send-off to Russell Westbrook, as I know he hasn't been the best, or I guess the most fan favorite player that the Lakers have had. You know, it's been a really love-hate relationship, I think, with Laker fans and with Russ. But we'll talk all about that. We'll talk all about the trade, just kind of what this kind of entitles, or what this is going to mean for the Lakers moving forward. And this morning, I actually woke up to some news, possibly that there's a trade that's going to involve KD and TJ Warren going to the Suns. That's it's crazy to think about, but yeah, we'll see all about this trade and everything. We'll hopefully have some more information on that one in particular, but we are gonna stay Laker focused mainly on this one, and we are just gonna break all that down. So with that being said, guys, I do just want to go ahead and just mention that you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter. It's going to be the same handle for both. It's going to be West Coast Pod 702. Again, that's West Coast Pod 702. So definitely go and drop me a follow on those two. And if you have Facebook, I do have a page on there. It's going to be the same name as the podcast, West Coast Sports Podcast. Drop me a follow or like the page. Just send me a DM on any one of those. Let me know if you guys like the show. Let me know if you guys want to talk more about any kind of trades, or what this is going to do for the Lakers. If you think this is going to make the Lakers a contender, we'll talk everything about this trade, or anything that you want to talk about, even if it's not basketball related, maybe one of the other teams or something like that you like, or football related, whatever the case is. I would love to go and talk to you guys, love to go and get to know the people that listen to the podcast. So definitely don't hesitate, don't be scared to send me a DM if you like. Also, so then that way we can talk all about the Lakers here. I do want to get another quick little tangent out there. If you guys haven't done so, definitely go ahead and check out this page. It's called Rosie's Designs EST 2022. If you have any kind of parties or events or anything like that going on, especially with the Super Bowl, with Valentine's Day coming around the corner, all that good stuff, all kinds of great events coming up, and if you have any parties or anniversaries, whatever the case is, you want something a little personalized, a little nice, something that's custom made, like nobody else is going to have it. If you check out this page, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. If you have any kind of events again going on, definitely check it out, because you can have a nice customized chip bag that's going to give you something to remember by, something cool to go ahead and have a nice little conversation around on whatever event you got going on, and plus you'll have fun eating the snack at the same time. So again, check out the page. It's called Rosie's Designs EST 2022. It is my wife, and she'll be able to go and help you out. Send a DM there. Let her know what kind of event you got going on, any kind of colors, lettering or designs or anything like that. If you have a particular character or something like that you'd like, definitely let her know. She'll be able to surprise you with the type of a design that she'll be able to come up with. Or if you already kind of have an idea of something that you would like, let her know, and she'll do her best to go in and try to emulate it or copy it as best as she can. But she is going to go in and put her own nice little twist on it, and I guarantee you'll like it. So again, Rosie's Designs EST 2022. Drop a follow, send her a DM, let her know what kind of event you got going on. Most of all, let her know that you heard about it on this podcast, so that way she can give me a little bit of credit too. No, I'm just kidding, but definitely drop a follow and do so, and let me know if you guys have any questions about that as well. If you are not able to get a hold of her on Instagram, if you don't have Instagram for whatever reason. Now, just to go and get into the podcast here, guys. So trade broke out yesterday. I was actually at the gym when it ended up happening. When I got home, when I got to the car, I made sure to go ahead and tweet out to expect the full podcast on this, guys, because I definitely want to go ahead and break down this trade. It was a huge trade. In my opinion, the Rui Hachimura trade was great. I really think that he has a big time capability. He has the capability to go ahead and stay with the Lakers. Maybe. I really would want them to, because I really would want the Lakers to go and start building something where they can actually keep some of these younger players and keep them long term, or at least, because that also allows you to be able to maybe move them around later on. You have a contract friendly or a trade friendly contract on your books, and that can help you out even later on. Even if it's the case that you don't want to trade them, then you just keep them along. You have them on the good contract where you can go and keep them long term and build something with this team. I think that's one of the lasting effects that we've all had as Laker fans, in my opinion, since the championship, since the 2020 year. I know that team went through all kinds of stuff and everything and this and that, but there were still some players that ended up coming back, and it was like nothing. And then all the players from that championship team went on and did great things for other teams. I mean, you see how Kuzma's doing on his own over there in Washington, so definitely kudos for him and everything. You see a lot of great things from all that, but it would have been nice to at least keep some of the core around there, so then that way you can start to build something consistent. But hopefully that's still the case with all the trades and all the moves that the Lakers have done recently, because this one was definitely big. So not only with the Rui Hachimura one, which definitely gave us a nice wing piece, a wing size player that's going to be able to help out with defending anywhere between a 3, 4, and a 5 potentially, depending on how big they are, but definitely a 3 and a 4, like a straight wing defender. Now he gets a little bit caught up whenever he has like smaller defenders that are a little bit quicker, like more guards, and that's fine. I mean, if you have a guy like Anthony Davis and LeBron James backing you up, then you can get beat here and there, and you'll be rest assured that you're going to have one of your teammates that can definitely back you up on that. Now there's a couple other, I guess to go and get off the Rui Hachimura thing, because we did have a little bit of a pod or a segment in those pods from before, where I was able to go and talk about that whole trade. Now, this one, it's going to bring D'Angelo Russell, D-Lo, back to the Lakers. I am excited to go and see him coming back. I mean, I wasn't the biggest D'Angelo Russell fan, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I thought he was good and everything and this and that, but I think in my opinion, it really kind of rubbed me. I'm more of a guy like, who are you as a teammate kind of deal. And the whole thing where he was snitching on Swaggy P and all that, like, you don't do that to your boys. Like, how are you supposed to hit the court with these guys, the guys that you're supposed to trust on a daily basis, and you can't even trust them like that? I mean, I get it. I'm not trying to go and make it seem like it's all bad, or trying to make it seem like, that I encouraged what Swaggy P was doing and everything and all that, but I'm just saying, like, you're not supposed to snitch out your boys like that. You're not supposed, especially, you're just not supposed to snitch, period. That's other people's business, in my opinion, so But regardless of the fact, I mean, it's been years since then. He's probably matured since then and all that. Like, I mean, there were young kids on that Lakers team. So maybe after all these years, he's matured more. And now, he has a chance to go ahead and come back to the Lakers and win as a Laker, and be totally different. Have a totally different team. From when he was on. That whole team back then was super super young. All of them were just drafted basically from the Lakers, so it's just all these guys just kind of growing up with the Lakers organization. Now you have a bunch of veterans on this team, a bunch of guys who are ready to compete to make a playoff, or hopefully to make a playoff run. As right now we're not in the best positions in order to make a in order to make a playoff run, but hopefully with these changes, with adding D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, this can actually, become something. I really do think that these three are key rotational pieces for us. I'm pretty sure D'Angelo Russell is going to be starting. It's definitely going to be the starting point guard, in my opinion. I really think this is probably going to put now Dennis and Austin in that, either backup point guard, most likely with Dennis, and then you have Austin. Because I'm pretty sure I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like it's a for sure thing that Malik Beasley is going to get that starting position in the shooting guard, but I'm thinking it's either going to be Malik Beasley, or unless if they want to start a Pat Bev who doesn't have to have the ball in his hands at that position. But in my opinion, I think that's a little bit too small. If it's not Malik Beasley, I would want it to be Austin Reeves most likely, or Lonnie Walker, or Troy Brown. That way, so you can at least have some size in there. Because if you have Troy Brown, you have a guy who's like 6'6", around there, 6'5", 6'6". If you have a guy like Malik Beasley or Austin Reeves, and you have like a 6'3", 6'4" guy out there, and at least that's a lot better than having two 6'1", 6'2" guys out there with D'Angelo Russell and either Dennis Schroeder or Patrick Beverly. So I would just want it to be where there's at least a little bit more size in that backcourt. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be D'Angelo Russell, hands down. Dude is averaging 19 points right now, almost damn near 40% from the 3-point line. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to be, and then as well, you have a guy who can finally, I'm pretty sure, because D'Lo has been known, he can run his own offense. He can go ahead and control the ball. He can go ahead and, manage a game as well, and not have a head full of steam, and not have to go in. He's really not known to get out of control a lot. That's something that I knew from him from the very beginning, from him starting off with the Lakers. So definitely excited to go in and see that, what kind of potential he has now with all the great pieces that he has around him now. So we'll have to go in and see as far as that. But I am excited to go in and see. I mean, I'm salivating at the fact that he's going to have all these open looks, having LeBron, having AD. It's going to be definitely interesting to go in and see. I am just going to be curious to go in and see what kind of level of defense he's going to be able to bring to at this point. As we all know, he was never that much of a great defender, when he was first with the Lakers. And I mean, he's gotten better. I feel like he's maybe gotten a little bit more dog in him. Maybe Patrick Beverly helped him out with getting more of that in there. You all see that he was definitely very happy to go in and see that D'Angelo Russell was coming over to the Lakers, and that they get to go ahead and team up again as they were with the Wolves for that short period of time. So it's gonna be interesting to go in and see what that pairing is gonna be like as well. And just overall, just to go in and see what D'Angelo is gonna look like now in a Laker uniform, and what it's gonna be like now at this point. But definitely excited to go in and see. I'm not going to go ahead and undersell it or anything like that. I think it's a big deal because it's going to give us that potential third star, kind of like 2.5 star. That's gonna sound messed up, but like maybe like 2 3/4 star. He is a star in his own right. He has been an all-star before. He has, shown greatness at times before, but it is going to be interesting to see how his defense holds up, not just for the regular season, but most important for the playoffs, and how he holds up as well in the playoffs offensively, as we've seen that at times he's kind of no-show in the playoffs. Not to going to be, messed up, or not to going to be mean or anything like that, or to pick on him or anything like that. But I do think that it is, definitely important to go and see what he, or to at least keep a close eye on that. But it is going to be the main thing that I will be looking at when it comes down to D'Angelo Russell. But overall, super excited for him to be back in the Laker uniform. Super excited to go and see what he's going to be able to bring to the team, and just can't wait. Overall, tonight's the game against the Bucks, I hope they find a way to get them all to go in and play, so that way we can see how this team at least kind of looks. I'm hoping that Darvin Ham switches up the lineup somehow, maybe includes one, maybe two of these guys that they ended up getting. I believe even Rui Hachimura has been included in the lineup before, in the starting lineup. We'll have to see if with these added additions, if that's going to change at all, because if I'm not mistaken, I know Malik Beasley before has played right around like 20 something minutes. I know Beasley Vanderbilt has also played anywhere between 25 to 32 minutes in a game. So definitely going to be interesting to see exactly how Darvin Ham is going to start, distributing some of these minutes around. And I mean, the main thing now, you have Russell Westbrook, that was also involved in the trade. Now over with is he with the Jazz? Yeah, with the Jazz, I want to say. No. Is he with the, no, my bad, no. Yeah, no, my bad. He did go with the Jazz. It was Mike Conley who ended up going over to the Timberwolves. So that's going to be interesting to see what that's going to look like over there. Now that Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert are going to be paired up now. But strike all that. It's a little side tension on that one. But wanted to go ahead and see how Darvin Ham is going to go ahead and distribute some of these minutes now. Now that you have added 3 key rotational pieces, not to mention that you're lost only 1 key rotational piece. And I know Russ was eating up a whole lot of minutes. He was eating up anywhere between 25 to 30 plus minutes a game. So it's definitely going to be interesting to go in and see how he's going to distribute some of those minutes. I know it could just be as easily as passing those over to D'Angelo, and it may be just that simple. But then you also have to worry about how you're going to go ahead and get these other guys acclimated. But we'll see. I think it's definitely going to be also a thing where Darvin Ham's going to have to go ahead and fill it out. Maybe we'll give AD or LeBron maybe some rest now, and actually play some of these guys a few more minutes, kind of share the wealth, so to say. But we'll see what happens overall with that. The other 2 players, Malik Beasley and Beasley Vanderbilt. Now I'm working with Malik Beasley. He is a 6'4" shooting guard. I want to say he's like right around like 2, maybe like right just under 200 something pounds. So not a huge guy or anything like that. But when you actually see him play, he actually looks a little bit bigger than what he's listed at. So definitely going to be interesting to see how big he actually looks compared to some of the other players out there. My biggest thing is that he's a solid defender. He's a guy who can go ahead and guard guards, and even at times some small forwards that are a little bit smaller. He can definitely hold his own when it comes down defensively. He doesn't really get beat often when it comes down to people just blowing right by him. He also has the athleticism to be able to keep up with guys. He's pretty fast, but my biggest thing is that he can shoot the damn ball. He can really shoot the ball. He has multiple games where he's made over three pointers in a game. He is shooting right around like in the mid to high 30s if I'm not mistaken. So definitely going to be great to go in and see what he can do, what he can bring over to the game. I really think it's just going to be a guy who's going to solidify, along with Troy Brown Jr. I feel like between them two, they're going to really share the minutes at shooting guard a lot. It's one of the things that I'm going to be worried about is kind of with the whole thing with Austin Reeves, because I'm a big Austin Reeves fan, and it is going to be difficult to go in and possibly think about the idea that Austin is possibly going to be the one out on the outside looking in this case. I do think though that he has a particular skill set though that's going to be crucial for the team. But between D'Angelo Russell, between Dennis Schroeder, they also, you kind of have some of those skills that you can include in there. But it is going to be interesting exactly to see how Darvin Ham is gonna fill out these minutes. That's going to be my biggest thing that I'm going to be looking at moving forward. is to see exactly how these minutes are going to be distributed, because they have a lot of rotational pieces that you can have now that you can utilize. And maybe it might just be like one of those things, kind of like the 2020 year, like with Frank Vogel, where you're going to have multiple different looks, or depending on the matchup that you have, you're going to have a more favorable matchup for Austin Reeves or for Malik Beasley, or vice versa, or Troy Brown, or whoever, Dennis Schroeder, whatever the case is. In some cases, maybe it is going to be more favorable for a certain player. But as far as like Malik Beasley, again, this guy is going to be definitely a great rotational piece for us. In my opinion, Rob Pelinka pulled off one hell of a trade, because we got back 3 key rotational pieces when we only really got rid of when we only put or sent out 1 key rotational piece with Russell Westbrook. Damian Jones and JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, they were also included in the trade. I mean, it's sad to go and see a JTA leave, Juan Toscano Anderson leave. With me being Mexicano and everything, it is sad to go and see a fellow Mexicano go over, that was on the Lakers, a team that I root for, to go over to another team. Damian Jones, it is what it is. He really didn't see the court too much at all this season. So I'm definitely okay to see him go. It is what it is. It is money that's going to be off of the books for next season, even though that is just a veteran minimum contract. But again, it is what it is when it comes down to that. Definitely just excited to go and see these other rotational pieces. The last one that I haven't mentioned yet is Beasley Vanderbilt. Now this guy is a power forward / big man. He's right around 6'8", 6'9". He's, I want to say it was like 230, 240 around there, or maybe like 230 or 220, somewhere around there. So he's not like a huge guy, but he has that athleticism where he can actually elevate quite a bit to block shots. He can pass pretty damn well. He can rebound the ball really well, and he can shoot. He's another dude. He can shoot the ball. He's a very solid defender as well, where he can guard multiple positions. He's been able to guard point guards all the way down to centers. So definitely going to be excited to see what that's going to look like. If we get another guy alongside AD that can guard and LeBron, who can guard multiple positions, arguably guard all 5 positions, that's definitely incredible. If you have multiple guys like that on the squad, where like you have guys like Anthony Davis who can guard all 5 positions, you have a guy like LeBron who can guard all 5 positions, then you have a guy like Beasley Vanderbilt who can, I guess you can say 4 for sure, because he might be a little bit too small to guard some centers. Then you got a guy like Rui Hachimura who can guard 3 positions, possibly even 4. That's even great. Then you have guys that are a little bit bigger, who even like a guy like Thomas Bryant's maybe like not the best example or something like that, but you guys got multiple people who can guard multiple positions. Even like a guy like Troy Brown who can guard point guards, shooting guards, even some small forwards, and even some power forwards, just because he has that 6'6", 6'7" height to himself and that athleticism. So with this team being able to go ahead and exploit some of those weaknesses that other teams may have, either because of their height, their speed, whatever or the lack of the speed, or whatever the case is, if they find a way to be able to exploit certain weaknesses that a team has because of the strengths that they have, I mean, isn't that easy? It's just as simple as that when it comes down to it. I mean, if they can easily do that, if they can, game plan something around that, or at least play their game and now start to actually, I guess, focus on what they were looking. Because in my opinion, the beginning of the season, it was supposed to not start off with Russ being on the team, and Darvin Ham has done an amazing job, an amazing job on him. Being able to go and get Russ acclimated into that bench role, coming off of the bench and actually performing extremely well. I mean, there was plenty of games. I would say there was more games that he performed well than less games that he performed, under par, I guess you can say, or not as well. And that's all you can really ask for at the end of the day. If a player gives you more better games than not so great games, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. That's all you can really, really ask for from a player, you know? Now, when it comes down to it, though, guys, it is going to be interesting just to go in and see what this team is just going to look like once they get all the pieces together. Once, or not, now that they have all, because, well, in my opinion, I am thinking that they might not be done. Maybe there's one more trade out there. I really don't know. I mean, that'd be crazy if the Lakers can pull up another trade. I mean, they did not give up both first round picks. They only ended up having to do one, and maybe I believe there was a second that they flew out there just to go and get the job done or the deal done. But they only have to use one, and I want to say it was the 2027 pick that they ended up using. So they still have the 2029 pick. So I don't know, maybe they're able to package up another player, maybe like a Lonnie Walker, Pat Bev, or something like that, and get another solid player or something like that in there. But we'll have to go in and see what they can do. If they can add just more depth into the team, that'd be awesome. If they can maybe get another solid big man, like defensive big man, that'd be awesome as well. But we'll have to go in and see what they're able to go in and do. Maybe they might even do something in the buyout market. A lot of players get bought out after the trade deadline, so we'll have to go in and see what happens when it comes down to that. And just we'll have to see what this team actually at the end looks like. As we all know, as Laker fans, especially as LeBron, once LeBron-led teams tend to, the NBA in general, the teams nowadays don't stay the same often. After at least a couple years or so, they tend to look totally different. But yet again, though, Laker fans, we have a totally different squad. Hopefully, we can get to at least see some of them play tonight against the Bucks and get a good understanding of what this team can potentially look like, or at least looks like at this point, and get us or at least get us some information. I just can't wait to go and see what happens. Can't wait to see what this game looks like, or what this team looks like now. Hopefully you guys watch the game too afterwards. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to bring up on the next show, as I will be most likely talking to you guys tomorrow for Friday, and then just kind of wrapping up the week from there. But if you guys like today's podcast, I am going to be doing another one again tomorrow. Hope you guys liked today's again. If anything, hope you guys have a good week and a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Take care. Peace.